I want to go to, I would say, kind of a main topic today. And also, too, anyone listening, feel free to request to speak. That's another thing with the show. Definitely want to make it more engaging. I get a lot of really positive feedback about interviews and stuff. So definitely open to having more people up on the show. But this was interesting. So, and this is a pretty substantial, big topic. I'm going to talk about the new airdrop HIP for Hedera. I had a great conversation recently with Patches about this. And Patches really is one of the key minds behind this Hedera improvement proposal. And maybe I'll give a bit of quick background on kind of what all this is about and why it's so important. I would say this is probably one of the most important things that's happening right now. So on Hedera, you have a function called token association. For those unfamiliar, on a lot of Web3 networks, basically, when you have a wallet, anyone can kind of throw anything inside your wallet, right? So you have effectively kind of like crypto spam, right? Essentially, which is, can make things kind of difficult. And I think that on Hedera, with the construction of the network and kind of the thinking behind what Lehman Baird was developing is, for an enterprise, it might not be a great idea for an enterprise to maybe have a wallet and then have a bunch of random stuff thrown in it. It might cause them to break the law out of their controller. Who knows, whatever it could be. So there was this idea of consent on this network where we have a token association function, which basically means that if you have a project or if you have a token or whatever it may be, and you want to airdrop it into a bunch of people's wallets, as happens on, in Web3, you would, start your project and send everyone a bunch of your free token, which is cool, but again, can lead to spam. So on Hedera, you basically, as a user, have to first associate a token, right? Or more specifically, a token ID, whether it's for an NFT or a fungible token, before that can be sent to your wallet. So the upside to that is clear. It's like, okay, the users are in control. We can avoid having spam on the network in a large capacity, and people's wallets will kind of remain clean. And also enterprises will be able to function with much more control, with that kind of not just being a wallet feature, but it's also just a core aspect of the network. The downsides to that are that a lot of these kind of business workflows and stuff that Web3 projects have, or just kind of in general, on Hedera, it creates a really big pain point for airdrops, right? So maybe an NFT project, maybe a utility project, maybe a fungible token, who knows what it is, a meme coin, whatever it is. It creates a huge barrier for them because they're not able to just do what they usually do, right? Just announce they're doing an airdrop and then, send it to everybody essentially. And also too, even if the user, for example, goes, oh, I love this project, I'd love to get it in my wallet. Maybe I'm a bit new to Hedera, right? That's the whole point, onboarding people. But those people might miss out on the airdrop because maybe they don't realize they have to associate, or maybe, it creates an extra step, right? So this can be viewed two ways. This functionality on Hedera can be viewed two ways. It can be viewed as, oh, thank God, we've got more control on this network over our wallet and account, and we can, essentially be a little safer on this network. And it's much more enterprise friendly, right? So that's the upside. The downside is that as we're trying to, as an industry, make it easier to onboard into Web3, and as we're trying to make it more frictionless to participate in Web3, this token association function on Hedera adds, an extra layer of friction for both the user and for the project. So there's upsides and downsides to it. And I think that in whole, people view the associate token function on Hedera as like a net positive. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, is there another way, right? Is there a way to get the best of both worlds? And there kind of is, and it's in the form of this HIP. So basically what this HIP does is it creates kind of two new elements to the network, two new elements to Hedera accounts. One of which is the token associate function, without getting too technical, it allows you to effectively turn off token association for an account. So there's a new flag that you can set that basically says, for this account, allow anything to be dumped into it. Have it operate like, have it operate like a Solana wallet or an Ethereum wallet or something. Just open it up and we can put whatever we want into it. And a wallet can be, configured that way. The other thing that it does is it creates a new airdrop function that essentially allows you to send a token to anybody, but it doesn't land in their wallet. It kind of gets queued up in an inbox that then the user can kind of go into that inbox and kind of see like, what airdrops do I have waiting for me? And do I want to associate them or not? So for example, if you have a project and you want to airdrop a bazillion NFTs or tokens or something to folks on the network, and you send it out, you're not going to get errors for people that haven't associated the token. It's just going to land in that inbox. So maybe some folks have associated the token. They'll get it no problem, just as usual as it currently happens. Maybe some people have disabled token association on their wallet altogether, right? So they'll get it no problem. But then maybe some people have just kind of left their wallets alone as they are right now. Well, there's this new kind of functionality on the network now that will, instead of throwing you an error and saying you can't airdrop it to this person they haven't associated, it allows you to airdrop it and it just kind of sits in a queue for that person, right? Like an inbox. And they open the inbox, they can see what has been airdropped to them and they can choose to accept it or not. So from that perspective, it creates just new options for people. Now, I mean, there's different extremes to this, right? The one extreme would be like, well, just flip the switch for everybody and disable token association across the network. I think there's a lot of people that would like that. I kind of disagree with that. I think that fundamentally token association is super important. So, I mean, my take on this HIP, which appears to be HIP 904, Hedera Improvement Proposal 904, I think this is great. I think it's awesome. And I think that, of course, it's not going to come without challenges, but I think that the key challenge here is more on user experience. It's more with the user interface, with the wallet, right? What that inbox looks like. How do you deal with that spam that maybe comes into the wallet? All those different types of things. So it'll be really, really interesting. Another kind of security element to this HIP is like, it's the sender that's paying the association fee and a lot of those different other fees. So if you wanted to do a big spamming campaign and flood a bunch of wallets, it would be really cost prohibitive. So it's not like doing transaction spam and stuff. It would be much more expensive to do that. So lots of different things to think about. We can dive so much deeper into this. I think that I want to leave it there for now just because this HIP is going to change. There's going to be a lot that kind of happens. I'd encourage anybody, if you're a developer listening to the show, or if you're just a community member, maybe have strong opinions on airdrops on Hedera and stuff like that, go into GitHub, be a part of the conversation with this, make the changes you want to see. That's kind of what this is all about. So go check it out. And I imagine as it gets closer to last call, maybe I'll have Patches stop by or someone from Swirlds Labs on the show to talk more about what the final form of this looks like and the different ramifications that come with that for the network. So that'll be kind of cool. But that is it. HIP 904. I dig it.